What's up, everyone? We got Jared Koenig here with us from the Oakland A's organization. What's going on, man?
Just out here doing what we can to keep the dream alive and have some fun.
So you are with the Las Vegas Aviators, which is honestly, you guys have one of the coolest stadiums and some of the coolest jerseys in all of the minor leagues. Definitely like following you guys along there. Where are you guys at this week?
We're in Tacoma right now. So Tacoma, Washington, playing against the Rainiers. And we got here yesterday afternoon.
Very cool. Very cool. So you ended up with the A's by way of the Australian Baseball League, right?
Yeah. I was in the ABL. I was with the Auckland Tuatara. I was with them for roughly 8 weeks before I got signed or sent home after I got signed, probably a couple of weeks prior to that.
So how did that end up coming about? Australia across the globe. I've been following the ABL for a while now. Love having some baseball to watch when we're off season here in the U.S. So how did that come about?
So in 19, my one of my teammates, Pat Leday, he had been in talks, and I had been looking to go to Australia to maybe go to a club team if I had to start, to give me a chance to just get on one of the ABL teams. And he was talking with Auckland, but then he also got an offer from Melbourne, and he ended up opting to go to Melbourne. And I told him to tell DJ Carrasco, the pitching coach for Auckland, to look, or to give him my number and to reach out to me. And he did his research on me, reached out to me, and then kind of from there, that's how it went. I became like the one indie ball guy they started with that year to sign with.
That's awesome. Now Auckland is not in Australia, correct? That's New Zealand.
Yeah, it's in New Zealand, on the North Island.
And am I wrong in saying that there's a Korean team now too?
Yeah, there's Geelong, Korea, which they're based. I don't remember where they were based. I don't know if there's a place called Geelong or not. I can't remember. I didn't get a chance to go there, but yeah, it's an all Korean team that plays in the AVL.
That's crazy. I love to see the expansion like that. Well, the Tuatara are a recent team too, right?
Yeah, that was the year I was there in the winter. 19 was the second year, and they haven't had a chance to play, obviously, because of COVID and everything the last 2 years. Hopefully this next one they get a chance.
That must have been really cool to be part of like that inaugural group then.
Being the second season, it was sweet. The first year was, or no, what was it? No, was it? No, it was the first year. That's right. Yeah, it was the inaugural one. No, wait, no. No, it couldn't have been the inaugural one, because the year before they had a pitcher signed, but to the Royals. So yeah, second year. Yeah. Gotcha. It was awesome. I mean, to see baseball kind of continue to grow in there, where it's not a big sport in New Zealand. It was cool. I mean, they used an old rugby stadium. Well, it's still kind of in use a little bit for a couple things, and blew out half the bleachers, or a third of the bleachers, and turned that into kind of the outfield. And it was sick. And I was bummed to miss the playoff game they had, because I think they had the most fans in any ABL game.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That reminds me of wasn't there an opening day that was at a cricket field a few years ago? Where was that? Does anyone remember?
I think that was the A's in Australia.
Yeah, that was super cool.
A's and someone else, maybe Cardinals. I don't know.
I love all the initiatives that MLB's taking right now to do games all over the globe. That's going to be really, really huge.
Yeah, for sure.
My last ABL question for you is just, what was the highlight of that experience over there for you?
Oh, I think the biggest highlight for me is just being able to go to another country. I had never been out of the United States or off the mainland. So going out and getting that experience was fantastic. And New Zealand's absolutely amazing. It's so cool just to see, and then you get to go and explore and see how green and just everything about it was awesome. Australia was great too, but New Zealand was by far my favorite of the two.
That's awesome.
So yeah, So what would you say, staying on the topic of the ABL, is the biggest difference between the ABA, AVL, and the minors? Would you say?
Obviously, the different country. The I would say you're not getting necessarily a full minor league lineup. You're getting a few because they have to have a certain amount of Kiwis or Australian, Kiwis being New Zealanders and Australians on a roster to keep the points down. It's a point system for each week, how it works, and you're limited to, I think it's 40 points each week that you can have. Like indie ball guys are 4 points, so it's like you have to go and get a guy, and then minor leaguers are two pointers, and then Kiwis or whatever are -2. So like they give you more leeway when you kind of do that stuff. I'd say that's the biggest thing. It's not necessarily a full minor league lineup that you're facing, but then again, you're still facing talented hitters and everything and all of that. I'd say that's probably the biggest difference from what I've seen now in minor leagues and going back to the ABL.
Well, yeah, I didn't know about the point system, but what do you anticipate the biggest challenge should be at the big league level?
I think the biggest thing there is just it's getting there and then it's staying there. Everyone always says that it's the easiest thing in the world to make it to the big leagues. It's the hardest part is being able to stay there, which you can clearly see when you have all these guys getting optioned down and everything, and the young ones that are struggling. And same time.
For sure.
Yeah, so I want to ask, I was reading the story about you that was in the Athletic a few days ago, and it said that you developed the cut fastball. So I was wondering how significant that has been to your progress.
I think that's helped immensely, giving me a second pitch that's similar to a fastball. That also goes the other way. So now I've got two pitches that go towards a righty or away from the lefty, and I've got two pitches that go vice versa for changeup and two seam. Mainly is what I throw anyways. So having that cutter gave me just another pitch to kind of get an out pitch if one's off that day. Considering my changeup last 15 years prior to this year, it was not a very good pitch, and I'd been trying to throw a good changeup. I finally have found a grip and a comfortability to where I can throw it for strikes and guess a little more consistent soft contact and even swing and misses. So that having that cutter last year was huge because it would give me that third pitch when, say, I couldn't throw a changeup very well or it was just getting hit. I think, just the ability that it comes off my fastball, I can throw it. I've started to learn how to manipulate a little more to where I can get to have a little more depth, or if I want to throw it a little higher in the zone, to have it just run versus diving. It's been a huge pitch for myself, and I think it's definitely helped progress me in the A's organization over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I saw that you learned your changeup essentially was from watching Trevor Hoffman videos. And
yeah,
I figured if you had to pick one where it's the changeup or the fastball, the cut fastball, which one has meant more to you after you have finally found the changeup?
I'd say getting that changeup grip was huge. It allowed me to, one sec. What's going on? Oh yeah. So getting that changeup grip was huge. It was more feeling, as I watched the video and I heard what he had said was getting the feeling of the ring finger and the thumb and kind of pressing it on, like that's what you're trying to grip, try and touch those fingers through the baseball. And so that resonated with me, that kind of feeling. And so now I can throw it off a different grip. It doesn't have to be the same grip each time. Like sometimes because I change as I'm moving, I change the grip as I'm moving in my windup. So I can sometimes just throw it off of a different grip and still have that feeling and get the same pitch I want, so I'd say that's been the most useful, especially this year, because I'm going to need that if I get the opportunity in the big leagues.
Do you happen to have a baseball on you?
I don't believe I do. I think
That's
they're all
all
at the field.
That's all right. I was just asking because when I was a kid in the Oriole Park parking lot, AJ Burnett taught me his cutter grip. So I was thinking it'd be interesting to see the way that you hold it, but that's all right.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I can try and explain it. I throw 2 seams straight up pretty much, with the narrow seams, and I don't go across. And then I just slightly rotate the ball, or I guess I'll go easy. I rotate my fingers forward towards the horseshoe,
Okay.
just a touch, and I'm on the outside, and my thumb moves to the bottom of the other side.
Gotcha.
And then
Cool.
I throw it, and then sometimes I can get a little more run if I want, and kind of make it like a slider at times as well, without, even though I'm trying to avoid the slider look, because it's not as good of a pitch as it is with the cutter.
Cool. Thank you for explaining that. I can picture it in my head. I'm sure everyone else can too. But if you want to jump into a minute of rapid fire here, I got the questions up. Brad, do you want to pull a timer up?
Yeah, I got it ready.
And just the same thing as last time. Let us know last question. All right, you want to start on me?
Yeah, when you go, I'm ready.
All right, ready? Favorite player growing up?
Sandy Koufax.
If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Probably a bird of prey.
Who's the funniest teammate you've ever had?
Too many. I don't know.
All right. What's your go-to fast food spot on the road?
Depends on where I'm at, but if there's In and Out, I'll go In and Out.
What's one song that you can't get out of your head lately?
I can't even think of it off the top of my head right now. I'll just go with my Walkout Loud and Heavy.
All right. Then my next question was going to be Walkout, so that's perfect. What's your favorite TV show?
I mean, these are things like I should be quicker on this. I'll just go South Park.
What's your go-to alcoholic beverage?
Cheap beer, Busch Latte.
Last question.
All right. We'll go with favorite sport besides baseball.
Probably soccer.
You got a favorite team?
Not in anything. That was more just me, a sport of playing, and is the way I went about it. If we're going off of that, it would be hockey.
All right. Your favorite hockey team?
Yeah, San Jose Sharks.
Nice. And I'm going to throw one more in there because I meant to ask, but I didn't know. Who's your favorite baseball team growing up?
San Francisco Giants.
Perfect. Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us, man. You had a great time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm glad it worked out with all your schedules too.
Yeah, and congratulations again on winning the AAA Player of the Week for last week. I know that's such a prestigious award for y'all.
Yeah, thank you. It'd be nice if the MLIB or MILB.com gave you it too.
Yeah. Hey, we'll get there one day, but hopefully that'll be the rookie of the week in the major leagues, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much, man.
Well, yeah, thank you.